Hey guys, Ezra here and welcome back to another Ezra review. And on today's review, I want to talk about Karate Kid's Legends. This is like the most recent Karate Kid movies, and it combines the 2010's remake starring Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith with the classic Karate Kid, and yeah, Karate Kid is a big franchise, especially after Cobra Kai, which already ended in February 2025. It's an amazing series. I love it, But I think with Karate Kid Legends, I think there is an impression that this movie was made for a cash grab, and but at the same time, seeing Jackie Chan and ralphmacchio together on the screen is absolutely amazing. And I think these two have like potential. I would say, this movie had potential. I thought, and the trailer seems cool. I think it was well edited. But I feel like this movie doesn't necessarily provide anything interesting in the Karate Kids world, because I feel like we already done that with Cobra Kai, which is far more better in terms of like the storytelling and the characters compared to this one, because this movie is essentially the first Karate Kid back in 1984. If you guys already seen the original Karate Kid, then you already seen this movie, because this movie storyline is mostly the same as the Karate Kid, from 1984, and it was really disappointing, because I was expecting something, maybe a bit more original and stand on its own. But I feel like this movie just steals so many plot points and characters, even from the original Karate Kid, because the characters and the villain even is like a very discount version of Daniel LaRusso or Johnny Lawrence, because I don't really care about any of them, and it is kind of disappointing, because I think this movie is trying to be fun. I think the directing by Jonathan and Whistle and the editing as well are fun. Not all the times, because some of the fight scene was a bit more janky at times, but for the most part it's actually pretty good, pretty solid, but I think in terms of like the characters and the storyline, it's nothing new. It's very cliche, it's the exact same plot from the original movie, and it's just like, yeah, if you guys are a big fan of the Karate Kid franchise, then I think you guys might maybe get bored, even though this movie is 94 minutes long, thankfully, but at the same time, I feel like this movie could benefit a bit more if you actually make the movie a bit more longer than it was, so we can develop all these characters, because of this 94 minutes runtime, the characters and the action, all the elements are pretty much just fast paced, and you definitely feel that the movie try to rush thing through, when the character development is kind of happening, and then they have to rush through to the next point, and then like they get to the fight scene, and then they get to another fight scene, and like we never truly stay and enjoy the moment from the characters and the fight scenes, because if you go back to the original Karate Kid, that movie is pretty long, because you did spend time with Daniel and Mr. Miyagi, and you really develop the relationship between the two of them, and that's why that first movie really works so well even to this day. And that's why I think like the sequel of Karate Kids and even Cobra Kai works, because they try to develop the characters. It's not just like action or karate, but no, it's actually they're developing the story and the characters, and that is missing from this movie, and it is such a shame, because I am kind of looking forward to see this movie, especially with Jackie Chan's coming back. Like Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio, chemistry are absolutely the best part about this movie. I wish there is more, because again, like everything in this movie, they are fast paced, so they're making a joke on one scene and then they immediately moving on to another, and it doesn't necessarily slow down and let the audience breathe, and like enjoy the moments, and then I feel like there is a lot more, but I think this movie has a huge potential to become like a good movie. I think this is a good movie, but I feel like from especially after Cobra Kai, I was expecting a bit more, instead of just like another cliche Karate Kid storyline, and I think people might enjoy this movie, because I think this movie is still fun to watch, and it's not exactly boring, but at the same time you kind of see where the story would go and how the fight scene will play out. And I will say, I think if I have to praise this movie, then obviously I think the directing is good, the editing is fun at times, and the fight scenes is actually pretty well edited at times, but when Jackie Chan and ralphmacchio fight in this movie, even though it was like, for a brief moment, the editing wasn't very good, because I wasn't able to see like what the fuck is happening. It's like a shaky cam, or like the editing was like so bad on that scene, when Jackie Chan is like fighting some goons, because it's just like, yeah, I don't know why they do that, because he's Jackie Chan, he can fight, right? But for some reason the editing was like so close for the fight scene, to the point that you have no idea what's going on, and it becomes really janky at times, and it was really disappointing, because I was kind of looking forward to see Jackie Chan fight some people, because he's Jackie Chan, man, like, come on. But for some reason the editing just completely messed that up, and I can see what's happening on the screen, and it was like really, really weird, because the rest of the fight scene with Wang's character Li Fong, it's actually pretty well edited. You can actually see what happens in the fight scene, and it was really dynamic, and I think it's good. But when Jackie Chan and ralphmacchio fight, for some reason the camera just becomes really close to their face and their fist, and you can't really make out what happened, on the fight scene, and it's really, really weird. So yeah, I don't know, guys. I think that's my review for Karate Kid Legends. Again, it's the same movie from the original 1984 movies. It's still enjoyable. It's 94 minutes long. I guess that's like, I don't know. I feel like that's a negative, to be honest, because this movie should be longer so they can develop more of the characters' relationship, because they just pass through pretty much everything in this movie. The fight scene, the characters' relationship, which is like, again, these two things that was like the most important things on a Karate Kid movie, that you need to care for the characters, and for some reason this movie just like passed through all of that and just became super cliche until the very end, so it was disappointing, because I want to love this movie, I really do, and I think having Jackie Chan and ralphmacchio together is a good idea, and they are certainly the best part about the movie. When they are arguing or like bantering towards each other, it was funny. They have a chemistry together, they have a great chemistry, and I kind of wish there is more of that. But besides that, I feel like everything else is just like, yeah, it's cliche, and this movie kind of make me want to watch Cobra Kai again, because that series is way more superior than this one, because it actually has a great character moments, great storyline as well. And yeah, watching this movie kind of make me miss Cobra Kai, but at the same time, I'm glad that it actually and because like I don't want them to completely ruin the Karate Kid franchise. Like this movie, I don't think it ruins the franchise, but it does make you miss Cobra Kai. Miss the characters, miss the fight scene, miss some good times with those characters. Like it makes me miss that watching this movie. So yeah, that's my review for Karate Kid Legends. So let me know your opinions about this movie in the comment section below. Do you guys actually enjoy it, or do you guys think this is a shitty movie? Like, yeah, what do you guys think about the characters and the plot? Because that is certainly the weakest part for me. But regardless, let me know your opinions in the comment section below, guys. And if you guys want to watch, if you guys don't mind, then you guys can, punch that subscribe and like button, and share the videos, and stay tuned for more movie reviews in the future. I plan to do like a 28 days later movie review and 28 weeks later review, preparing for 28 years later. So stay tuned for that. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed this movie review, and I will see you guys in the next one then. Bye.